Jacob?
Hey, Brian, we can hear you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that it worked, so that's good. Brian, on that.
Yes, sir.
I guess we got a minute or so here. Oh, no, it's 4 o'clock now.
4 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Brian, you want to call the agenda here and call the meeting to order?
Sure. We'll begin our meeting, Supervisors Work Session meeting at 4 o'clock, and we'll call this meeting to order and begin with a review of minutes to be approved. Right now, I don't think we only have the one, so we'll start with that. The minutes of the November 10th, 2020 regular meeting as presented. And I would make a motion. I'm sorry, Jacob.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd make the motion to approve those minutes.
I'll second it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Again, if there's anybody that would like to comments on our agenda, will be accepted at appropriate time. On the new business, we have a motion to approve the CSI Alarm Monitoring Service Agreement. The good news is it works. The other night when we lost power, I got the call. Of all people to get the call, it was me. But all it really did mean is that I called into MedEd to let them know, First Energy. So, again, it works. And that was the, when we lost the power, that's one call they'll make. If there's entry, that's another one that they'll call us on. So I would say that I have no problem with CSI. They've been good, and they've come through when they have to. So do we have a motion to approve the CSI Alarm Monitoring Service Agreement for this upcoming period? I'll second that motion. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Discuss the proposed new ordinance number 239, and that's to amend the voluntary real estate tax credit as prepared by our attorney solicitor, Ron Karasak. Basically, in a nutshell, what it says is that we're going to double what we are legally allowed to do. So we're going to go and make our real estate credit. We're going to double that by 10%.
Brian, if I can step in here, on October 29th, Act 91 of 2020 was passed, which eliminated the cap entirely for the real estate tax credit. So where we used to be limited to that 20% real estate tax credit, we are no longer.
We're no longer limited to that?
Sorry, say that again?
Okay, so we're talking about, we have the tax credits that we're involved with right now would be our our real estate tax credits, and that would be municipal only. And that would not be school, certainly, and it would not even be county. So what I would say then is that under the advice of Attorney Karasak, we were told that this is all we could do is stay in this arena. And what you're saying now, though, is that we're no longer we no longer need to abide by that?
That's correct. During the November 10th meeting, we had discussed it, and the board decided to table it, so you guys had the opportunity to discuss it more. With the actions that you took last year, when you accidentally gave a 10% credit on the full thing, to keep close to that amount right now, you would need to raise our municipal-only real estate tax credit to about 65%. And now that Act 91 of 2020 has been passed, you can do that if you want to.
And to, again, I had trouble hearing that. I'm sorry. So what are you saying? Since that act was passed, we are allowed to do what?
So what Julia said, basically, is that because Governor Wolf signed legislation removing the cap, if we wanted to come close to the 10%, that had been done in the past, even if incorrectly, if we wanted to do that, we would have to have ours at 65%. And now because the new law says we can, there's no cap, it could be 65% or more or less. But
we can make it 100%. What are we talking about? It's so little anyway. It's a pittance.
Well, you know what, Robert, I kind of agree, and we found that out when we learned it was only going to be 10%, and even going to 20 was ludicrous. I would say maybe, again, just not quite certain of what that would mean. Why don't we go with the 65% or initially, and then we can adjust as we go along?
Well, I wonder if we could get, because really at this point, all Ron has to do is change the number in the draft ordinance since the rest of it is prepared.
Yes.
So maybe we could see, Julie, if you could make a table based on past usage, if you could sort of calculate where we'd be at, in the actual, revenue loss because of it. I know it's minimal, but
I can definitely do that, but then I caution you, we have to move on this, if
Right.
not this week, next week, because we need to advertise this and then get it passed, because we are talking about changing the tax credit for this year.
Right. The reality is, individuals who are, because this applies to not just, this is just volunteer firefighters, correct?
Right. Active firefighters.
Okay. So someone with Bushkill Emergency Corps, Suburban EMS, that works. Okay.
So maybe it affects, 50 people?
Right. So I guess what I would say is that I personally think that we should take it to 100%, only because it's just one very small incentive for individuals to, actually make up, to join these groups. Because there aren't many members of them. I go to the Bushkill meetings. I know some of you guys attend the Marshalls Creek meetings. There's not a lot of people that really can take advantage of it, and I think it's a nice thank you to those that really can and that serve us.
Even at 100%, it's symbolic of our support more than anything else. We don't lose. The revenue doesn't mean anything, and taxes don't mean much, but at least it says we care.
Well, it's the number of, we have Shawnee that we're looking at, and of course Marshall's Creek, and they're active members only. Of course, there wouldn't be like somebody like me who's still an auxiliary member getting anything like that. So 100%, Robert, Jacob, that's fine. And we could, Julia, we could pretty much parse that out, and we'll know exactly what it is, because we may want to go back to it. No, we're not going back to our budget and make an adjustment on our real estate tax. So, do we need to go with a motion now to forgive 100% of the Smithfield Township property tax for each active member of the fire companies and ambulance? I'm sorry.
What you would need to do now is basically make a motion saying that you wanted to raise it to 100%, and then give Ron permission to alter the proposed ordinance number 239, and then advertise the ordinance accordingly. And then once the ordinance is advertised, we can adopt it and move forward.
So we want to do that so we can vote. You want to do that, Jacob? Make that motion, Robert, and then we would, with permission to advertise it this evening, as it raised to 100%, and ask Ron Karasak.
And I'll second Robert's motion to that effect. I guess now we just have to decide when it would have to be. Maybe we could vote on it at the December 2nd work session, which is already going to be fun.
So you've made the motion and you've seconded it at this point. If you give Ron permission to advertise, when he gets it in the paper determines when you can discuss it. And we can leave that up to him.
Right, because all I know is what he told me is that you need, it's strange, but it's only a week for one, for that. But
if it's not a zoning ordinance, it has to be no more than 60 days, but no less than 7.
Right.
So if he feasibly gets it in the paper tomorrow, puts the ad in for tomorrow, it would be advertised somewhere around Tuesday the 24th. December 2nd would be the earliest that we could do it, but if his office is bogged down, we might have to wait until the 9th. But we can leave that up to him.
Yeah, no, that's fine, just as long as we have an idea.
We're probably better off waiting to the 9th. We've got enough things to do on the 2nd.
Okay, so then we'll leave it at that, and we'll make the motion to approve number 1, advertising this, and that our attorney will revise our ordinance number 239 and and we'll look for maybe December 9th. Robert, is you thinking?
Yeah, I think this is a better target for us, December 9th.
Okay.
I'll second Robert's amended motion then.
Okay, all in favor?
All right.
We got that? Okay, discuss the new district magistrates, the lease situation. Pretty much, as I said, I had a couple of phone conversations with Greg Christine, who is representing the county in this negotiation for a new lease, a new 10-year lease that would begin in, actually, it probably should have begun in 1st of November, I believe.
Right,
but
they said they will give us retroactive increases, though.
Amen, he did, right. So, Jacob, thanks for getting that out, that thing. What I did is I took the message that included what was asked of the district judge and went over that with Mr. Christine, and the results are there on that particular. It should be in front of you. What he asked for when we were doing this was that, listen, number one, when the initial offer that we had made, he said, I can't even take that to the county commissioners for one reason or another. They thought it was much too high. So I said, as I copied everyone with, very simply that, it's high, and it's high because you're asking for a lot of things, and it's not inexpensive. Well, his first suggestion is that, how about if we do this? Let me see what the county can do, and ergo that one form there that should, as I say, should be in front of you. And all we really are responsible for now is only the door that has been given problems, and that's legitimate, and then lighting. And Eddie was in today with a new, I guess Huffman Electric is going to be our new electrical contractor because of Kenny Miller's retirement. So he went over it, and he knew exactly what to look at, and he's going to get back with this guy next week, representative from Huffman Electric, and get an idea what the price is. But it'll be much, much, much less than what was originally proposed by the county and Judge Germano. So then what happened was that we went back and forth and said, okay, let's do this. And I don't have this in front of me, but we have the situation with first 2 years of the lease would be at 10% for the first 2 years, and then for years, I believe, 3, 4, and 5, 5%. Correct me if I'm wrong. 5, 6, and 7, 5%.
Right. Yeah, you have 10% for 1 and 2, 5% for 3 and 4, same thing for 5 and 6, and then same for 7, 8, and 9, and then for the 10th year, 7%. Yes,
sir. Yep. That's it. So, and again, that was a reduction to the initial proposal, Robert, that you sent over there and you put together for us. And the reason for that was the significant decrease in what was expected of us as the landlord. So,
kind of triple net. They do the work.
Yes, they do the work. If you look at it, there's only two areas at the most that we get involved with, and they're very inexpensive, really.
Right. I mean, these rates are solid. I think that, you know, we certainly should say that we're willing to come down to this, and, you know, since they're gonna be taking on so much, and then we just get what's right for, you know, what could have been done some years ago.
Right, yes. So, having said that, initially Greg Christine said that he would run it by the commissioners. The initial one, he said, no, I can't even go in there with that because I know they'll just tell me to take a walk. I said, well, listen, in the interest of saving time, why don't you just run it by them as it is now, and if we have to, we'll adjust it. But I think if we agree with what we're asking for now, we can do that tonight and just say to Greg, this is it, this is where we stand.
Sure, that would be fine by me.
Robert, you okay with that?
Fine.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm good.
Okay. All right, then I get mixed up in this, so I'll make the motion that we approve the new rates of rental for the district judge on a 10-year contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And I guess by motion, we're going to transfer that $80,000 back into the ESSA general fund. And we talked about that this morning. We'll get it over there and let the dust settle, and we'll see what we can do and where we're going to go with everything else.
Sure. So I'll move that we transfer $80,000 from the highway fund back to the general fund.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Then, of course, now we need a motion to pay H&K Group $189,030.43 out of the general fund for the Tox Gap Road paving contract. And I'll make the motion that we do pay H&K.
Second.
Okay, and that'd be out of the general fund. $189,000, $30.43. Have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
On the bills to be paid, I know we had them before us. Jacob, you and I did anyway. Robert, I'm not quite sure if you saw them at all, but in the situation is that we took a look at them and nothing outstanding whatsoever, and signed them, and we're ready to go.
I'll make a motion to approve all bills at a total of $19,394.37.
I'll second the motion. All in favor? And
Oh,
then we have the highway fund. And then we'll approve Robert's motion would be to approve the general fund and the highway fund for a total of $21,227.34.
Okay, I'll second the motion.
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
We got to do the motion to approve the advertising for the 2021 budget. I'll move that we do so.
And I'll definitely second that motion. And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Julie, you had it. Thank you very much for taking the time to take a look at it. And as I said, job well done by all. So looks like a good, solid budget.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, so that's done. And we'll let Lois know, Julia, tomorrow to get that ad in the paper as soon as possible. Start that 20-day period. Okay.
Oh, and before we do adjourn, you guys do need to announce that you've had an executive session on November 10th from 8:13 p.m. to 8:41 p.m. regarding personnel management.
So announced. think we have anybody on with us on Zoom and no one's in the room either for public comment, right?
Just us.
Yes, okay. All right, I'll move that we adjourn at 4:19.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Listen, there's one thing I just wanted to bring up. It's
hold on, before you do
are we
that,
off?
let me do that first.
Yeah, we're out of the meeting.